Hello, hello. This is Angela Logan with Everyday Shenanigans. I'm going to bring you an update on the Joshua Brown shooting that took place last Friday in Dallas, Texas. They have arrested another suspect in that shooting. There were three guys involved in that shooting, in that alleged drug deal that went south, far, far south. Two obviously were related to one another, and the story goes kind of like this. They met with him 5, 6 miles away from where he resided at the apartment complex where Mr. Botham Jean was shot. So a couple of miles away from that place is where this shooting took place, in a parking lot of an apartment complex. The deal went south. There were words exchanged. Mr. Joshua Brown, allegedly pulled out a handgun and proceeded to shoot one of the young men. He shot the young man. Then the other one decided to pull out his handgun. He shot Mr. Joshua Brown and took his backpack with the drugs in it and went on his merry, merry way. I tell you, this is a travesty. It is so sad, excuse me, to me, because we're all human. We all make mistakes, but it's just a tragedy only because he happened to be a witness in the Botham Jean murder trial with Amber Guyger, who was accused of killing Mr. Botham Jean. And I just hate that he even had to even be a part of that. And so obviously he was nothing you could do, water under the bridge. But you got a lot of people on social media giving their 2 cent opinions about he was this, he's that, why the law upholding him, he's a crook, he's this. I'm not even trying to hear all that, because first of all, you didn't even know the boy sold drugs until he got shot. Okay? You didn't even know why he got shot last year, for the reason of having fear to testify in this trial. Okay? One could assume he didn't want to be involved in this trial because maybe he got shot around the time that he had given information about what took place in that apartment. But you don't know because they didn't reveal that. But I don't want to hear all this negative stuff about he's this, he's that, he's a bad person, woo, woo, woo. First of all, let's keep it 100. For all you crazy people out there that love to take up for the police and take up for people who doing wrong by people, police or not. It doesn't matter what he did. Whether he was a butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, okay? That girl went in that apartment and shot that man. That white woman went in that apartment and shot that black man in his house. So it don't matter if Moses was living across the hall. Job was across the hall and heard the shot. What's that got to do with the dead man? Okay? See, a lot of times in these cases, majority of the times, people's past always come to play when they are a witness to a crime. And it is always put out that if a person has a negative past, they use drugs, sold drugs, committed burglaries, crimes, that they're not a good character witness. That, oh, why would I believe anything he says? Why would I believe anything she says? Well, my thing is this. Just because somebody committed a crime yesterday, 5 days ago, 5 years ago, doesn't mean that they're not telling the truth about a crime that they witnessed. And you can't say either way because you weren't there. Okay? And I always tell people that when I comment on these pages, these old crazy news break pages and people giving their 411 about something they don't know nothing about. Hey, you weren't there, and the dead don't tell no tales. Last I checked. So in the end, it doesn't matter who lived across the hall, who lived down the hall. A man died in his house, minding his business, eating cereal, so they say. So the fact that the guy across the hall just so happened to sell drugs, that don't mean nothing to me. And I ain't worried and ain't bothered by that. And I ain't worried about the state wanting to retry nothing, do nothing, because guess what? That heifer already admitted that she killed that boy. And that's that. Now, I don't wish no harm on this young man who is now deceased. He obviously led a eventful life, which led him to be now deceased. Because naturally, when you sell drugs, use drugs, you have a higher chance of getting something terrible happening to you. That's common sense. Okay? We all know that. But don't throw up his past in relation to the dead guy and that woman shooting that man. You trying to diminish the responsibility that woman walked in that man's house and killed him just because this guy who's a witness sold drugs. It doesn't matter if he sold drugs or not. Because like I said, had this drug deal never went down, you all in America would have never known that he sold drugs. You wouldn't have even known. Okay? So stick to the issue at hand. Stop the blame game. That's all you people do. A lot of your sap folks, and yes, a lot of your racist folks, you're stupid and you're silly. You're worrying about how many black people commenting on my channel. You don't worry about what's going on over here. This is mine. Yeah, whoever you are, Mr. Rick Bain, I'm saying it to you directly. So now you can see my face and say it to you. This is my channel. I run the show here. And what I say goes. Say it in stone, boo-boo. You don't worry about no black folks commenting on this page. No black folks have even commented. You was the only one jumping on, putting your 2 cents in where it didn't belong. Because like I said, you weren't there, and I wasn't either. But I know one thing for sure. The dead man ain't told no tales. He ain't got up and walked, and he ain't moved no stone. Because that white woman killed him in cold blood in his house. And that's proper dough. Go look that up. Y'all don't want none of me. I'm trying to tell you. You don't want none of Big Ange. I keeps it 100. I bring life experience to all my commentary. I don't talk about something I don't know nothing about. And that's just who I am. Okay? That's Big Ange. So, that's the update with the Joshua Brown murder. Condolences to his family. I don't wish death on anyone. Naturally. It'd been nice if he had a different lifestyle, but hey, we all make mistakes. He made a mistake. He was in a dirty game, and he is now no longer living. And his death, thank God, was not a result of a hit or anything put out on him, because some people are thinking that as well, that the police or some dirty cop or some dirty cop fan, shot him. Well, as you see, they've got some young men who were suspects. 3 of them, 2 have been apprehended. So I'm going to lean on that. Because like I said, it's already one tragedy that a black man was shot in his own house. Now, this guy being a witness is even more drama and trauma. Enough is enough. And that's the spoken word. To the next update, to the next video. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.